Good morning, everyone. So today we're gonna discuss the different parts of a analog camera. So this is my drawing of my analog camera. So let us start. Analog camera, a camera that exposes photographic film to film in order to take a picture. It was used since late 18,000 or 18th century up to date, but often the film in the analog camera is a chemical emulsion on the plastic substance that is sensitive to light. When exposed, an analogous image of the scene is created within the chemical layer of material. All film cameras are analog cameras. So now we're gonna explain the different parts. So ano yung ibig sabihin ng sinabi ko? Analog camera is usually used in 1800s or in 19,000 or like 18,000, which usually uses a film inside, or what we call the plastic film, where the camera can produce the image out after it's been taken. So, usually, once na gumamit ka ng analog camera, once you take a picture, after you take a picture, usually, kaya mo nang mag-print out ng picture agad through the use of the film or the plastic film. So, yun. Ganun lang kadali. So, let us start. First, we're gonna focus on the focusing ring. From the word itself, focusing ring means to say focuses. The focusing ring had different numbers. Yung different numbers na yun indicates na kung gaano kalayo yung pagfo-focus mo. Meaning to say that numbers are the distance and the range that the image usually you can focus. So, ayun yung trabaho ng focusing ring. So next, f-stop. F-stop. The f-stop refers to the aperture opening of lens through which light can pass to the sensor or film. By looking at the current f-stop listed, you can quickly get an idea of how much light you are allowed and how much depth of the field you have your image. So, etong f-stop, what is the work of f-stop? Just simple. F-stop is the one that adjusting, or what we call this. Siya yung naglilimit nung pumapasok na light. Kumbaga yung contrast and then yung sharpness. Siya yung nag-a-adjust. Yung contrast and then sharpness of the image. Kumbaga dito, the focusing ring focus on the distance and the range that the image can focus. While on the f-stop, her work is to captivate the contrast or the light that the image can process, and then the sharpness. Kumbaga, siya yung nagpa-process nung kumbaga yung lighting, yung contrast ng image. Ayun yung trabaho ni f-stop. So next, rewinding lever. So what those rewinding lever do? There are two purposes for this feature. First one is a roll film. It's complete. It allows the photographer to rewind the film back into the film cassette. The second purpose of the film rewind knob is to ensure proper loading, as the winding sprocket pulls film onto the take-ups tool. The film rewind knob will spin indicates the film being full, and it doesn't not spin, then the film is not being advanced and will not take pictures properly. So, rewinding lever, as I said, what is the work of this one? He is the one that controls the film inside. So, meaning to say, paano kinokontrol yung film inside? Siya yung kumbaga yung nagba-back and forth ng film dun sa parang what we call this, yung socket kung saan dapat nagpa-process yung film. Kumbaga, etong lever na to, paano ba to? Like, for example, this is the film. I'm gonna rotate it. This is the film. And then this is the ending. Yung trabaho ng lever is to pull this out properly to what we call this, to place the film on the proper place where the image will be processed. Meaning to say, simple lang, ang trabaho lang ni rewinding lever is to back and forth the film, to adjust it, to place it on the processing area. So, ganun lang kadali. So, next, hot shoe. So, this is the hot shoe. Hot shoe, see. So, ano yung trabaho ni hot shoe? A hot shoe is mounting point of the top of the camera which attached with a flash unit. And other compatible accessories which takes the form of an angled metal bracket, surrounds a metal contact point with completeness and electrical connection between camera and accessory for standard. So, ano to? Ano yung trabaho ni shoe hat? Ano yung hot shoe pala? I mean, hot shoe is a socket or a pocket for the flash of the analog camera. So, hindi lang yun. Kumbaga, this one is like what we call this, siya yung pinaka parang aim, as a aim to. Kumbaga, yes, we have the viewer, but this one also act as a viewer, but talagang yung main purpose niya is yung flash. Meaning to say, dito nakalagay yung flash, which once you capture a photo from a analog camera, the flash will comes out in this hot shoe. So, ayun yung trabaho niya. So, next, shutter speed indicator and ISO selector or the shutter speed dial. So, nasan yung shutter speed dial? So, ito siya. Which is ito, yung bilog na parang di-adjust. So, ano yung trabaho ni shutter speed indicator and ISO indicator or the shutter speed dial? The shutter speed dial provide the section of shutter speed and indicates the timing of the shutter opens and closes. A fastest shutter speed such as 1 to 500 seconds will close faster than say 1 to 2 second exposure time. In the case, the shutter curtain will close very fast that thus resulting a less light entering the film, and also adjust the ISO. The ISO would rate the film sensitivity to light, giving the speed, and as a rating, the light sensitive film requires less light to develop properly exposed photo. A high ISO number makes roll of film more sensitive light. So, ano yung trabaho ni shutter speed indicator? So, siya yung nag-a-adjust nung pagsara nung camera sa loob, yung nag-shutter. Once you take the picture, sa loob may parang nagko-close yan. Yung parang door na parang ganun. So, ano yun? Ito yung nag-i-indicate nung parang pintuan na yun, no? Once yung pag-shot na ganun, limited yung papasok na parang exposure ng light. So, paano yun? Like I said on my script, siya yung nag-a-adjust nung bilis ng pagsara, pag-open, once you capture a image. Para saan? Kasi meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng film. Which is, may mga iba't ibang klase tayo ng film na may more on sensitive on light and then more on lessen on the light. Meaning to say, pag more sensitive on light, meaning to say, kailangan once you capture the picture, mas marami yung papasok na lighting. Kumbaga, dapat dapat sobra. Hindi naman sa sobra, dapat yung pasok do sa requirements ng film. Pag sinabi naman lesson, doon na pumapasok yung hindi niya kailangan ng sobrang daming lightning. Kailangan niya lang yung parang kapiranggot or exact amount para mag-process yung film, which is ang trabaho nga ni shutter speed indicator is to adjust the shutter door or yung tiga clap na ganun sa loob ng camera once you take a picture. Para kung sakaling yung film natin is more sensitive on light, once you click, sapat yung papasok na light. Paano na lang kung wala to? You capture your image and then your film is sensitive on light. Ano mangyayari? Yung image mo hindi mapaprocess, magko-color white yan. Will be burned out. So, ayun yung trabaho ni speed dial. Kumbaga, he adjusts the door like inside a camera. So, yun. So, next. Film advance. So, ano yung trabaho ni film advance? Film advance is a mechanical for moving film from one tool to another. Currently, one frame at a time in many cameras, the film advance process also cooks the shutter and frequently releasing the shutter unlocks and the film advance providing double exposure protection. So ano yung trabaho ni film advance? So, ang lumalabas dito is ito yung parang support ni shutter. Kumbaga, ito yung what we call this. Siya yung parang ito yung katulong ni shutter speed dial do sa sinabi ko kanina. Kumbaga, ano to what we call this. Siya yung parang tiga process once you captured a photo from yung pagkaka-shutter na. Basta, based on my understanding, yung number one role ni shutter is to help the shutter speed and indicator on capturing a image or the lightning process. So, yun. So, next, rewind button. Ano yung trabaho ni rewind button? This button releases the film take off reel and allows you to rewind the 35mm film. If you do not push this button and being rewind the film, you will feel a lot tension and it push too hard you may break the camera or the reef of your film. So, what to always make sure this button is push. So, meaning to say, yung rewind button, ito yung tiga-release ng take-up film na nag-aalaw sa'yo to rewind the 35mm film. So, anong mangyayari daw pag hindi mo pinush to? Makakaranas ka ng tension once you take a photo and then hindi mo kinlik to, makakaranas ka ng tension. And then, yung tension na yun can result to breaking the camera film or yung film mo sa loob. So, always remember, when you uses a analog camera, always push this rewind button for you to rewind the film and to prevent breaking your film and having a hard tension while taking a photo. So next, take-ups tool. So our take-ups tool usually eto. This is our take-ups tool. This one in here. So, anong trabaho ni take-ups tool? This is a metal or plastic cylinder generally located at the right side of the camera, looking from behind. There will be either touch, nears, for or both on the cylinder. It will pulls the film along, so unexposed film can be placed behind the shutter film. Attached to either the notch of gears allow the stool to advance film as I turns. So, so ganito lang kadali. Etong ano natin, take up stool, ang trabaho niya is to ito yung nag-a-act as the cylinder. Meaning to say, this one, dito, what we call this, dito dumadaan yung film natin. Kumbaga, paano ba to? Kunyari, ito yung cylinder natin, which is yung take-up stool. Kumbaga, dyan nakapaikot yung ano natin. Kumbaga, ganito lang siya. Ito yung film natin, dyan dadaan. Dyan dadaan si film as he acts as the cylinder. Siya yung nag-a-act as a cylinder. Kumbaga, siya yung tiga ganyan ng film. So, ayun yung trabaho ni take-up stool. So, next, camera back. So, ano nga ba yung meron sa camera back natin? The camera back is just basically the back cover of the analog camera that can be opened up to view film or change the film cartridge. So, ito yung camera back natin, which is usually yung likod ng camera and the cover. Ang trabaho nito is to open the back of the camera to allow us to change the camera film. If ever we don't have any camera film, pwede tayong magkabit dito. Ito yung magiging opening kung saan pwede nating mapalitan yung camera film natin and to check the other parts if there's a damage or what. So, ganun lang kadali yung trabaho ni camera back. So, next. Viewer or the viewfinder. The optical viewfinder, which is ito siya. Part of camera, you look through the composing and taking a shot. It was optical because when you see comes from the image that the camera sees, a light enters the camera and hits the mirror, then gets reflected through the pentracing. So, usually, ano tong trabaho ni viewfinder? Ganito lang kadali. We have the focusing ring, we have the f-stop. So, dito, once you view in here, dito mo makikita yung pag-process nitong mga to. Una, yung kay focusing ring. Once you focus, dito mo titignan yan. Kung paano yung gusto mong focus. Kung na-focus mo ba maayos yung image. And then, sa f-stop, dito mo rin siya titignan. Para malaman mo kung yung contrast ba ng image na ipaprocess mo sa film is sapat na ba? Or tama na ba yung sharpness or what? Dito mo titignan lahat yun. And then, dito ka rin titingin to spot the image that you want to capture. Meaning to say, dito ka, kumbaga ito yung talagang nag-a-act as your telescope to capture your target or to capture your image that you want to take. And then usually, once you aim the image that you want, dito napapasok yung process ni focusing ring tsaka ni f-stop na usually dito mo titignan kung gaano kung na-focus na bang maayos sa use of focusing ring, and then dito mo na rin titignan kung tama na ba yung contrast, yung light, yung kumbaga yung sharpness ng image. Through this, dito mo titignan lahat ng process na which is kung paano yung pagkakatingin mo dito. Siyang lalabas dun sa film, dun sa image ng yung mapaprocess dun sa film na image. So, ganun lang siya kadali. So, next, the film compartment, which is usually ito. So, ano yung trabaho ng film compartment? In film cameras, there are compartment in the back of the camera, which usually ito holds the film camera. This compartment has a space for the film canister, sprockets guide, and the film across to exposure area, a pressure plate to tighten the film camera or the film canister that guides the film across the exposure area, a pressure plate tighten the film and take up to the reel to wind the film. So, eto lang. Ang trabaho nito, ng film socket na to, dito kinakabit yung camera film natin. Na usually eto, meron daw siyang meron siyang mga guides inside na kung saan dun mo padadaanin yung dulo nung, 'di ba, yung our camera films are usually rolled. And then yung dulo niyan para us to make way para mapagana rin natin yung mga tools natin like this rewind lever. Ganito lang yan. Meron daw parts dyan na parang may mga guide kung saan konektado tong si rewind lever na kung saan ito yung dito gumagana yung process nung rewinding or back and forth ng film. Kumbaga, may guide lang siya kung saan mo ikakabit yung dulo, kung saan lulusot yung film around the camera, papunta dun sa area kung saan nade-develop yung image through the film nga. So, ayun lang. So, that's the part of the analog camera. So, I hope you learn something. And then, yun. Have a nice day and enjoy guys your day. Keep safe and God bless always.